Hey there, Wrestle Traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you a live trade for August 16, 2013. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Please make sure you have a solid trading plan and never move your stop when placing a trade. Taking a couple trades this morning, looking for still the break above the 25-minute open range. We've already constituted here, but we're having some formidable lines of defense. We have a 1-hour open range here at 1028.5, which we've had a momentum break above. But here is a good lesson today to show why it is that the momentum move hasn't occurred. You can see here in the 25-minute open range bar, yes, momentum has broken above, but I am looking for sequence of all my charts to enter into the trade. Heiken Ashi range chart, I've had an EMA crossover here, but yet the bar's solid tail up, nothing with any formidable strength above the 1-hour open range. I have EMA crossover on my 4 lines, 5, 13, 21, and 80. I'm looking for a break above Camarilla H3, which we could see that the lines have just come up to some resistance here and broken back down each time. I'm also looking on my 30-minute post-open. Our resistance line has also been holding the line here. And I see a break above the daily pivot, which wasn't able to hold. So while our market is in the internals in green here, not much strength though. Yes, the majority of the moves today have been in the green, looking for stronger tick. I got mixed internals and on the market breadth. And then I'm looking for a stronger AD line above maybe 500 would mean that I'm breaking above. So again, I'm going to hold off here from any trade, looking again for a break above the 1-hour open range on my 5-minute chart. Wanting to see Heiken Ashi candles, solid bar with tail up in the blue. I have EMA crossover on both. My first targets will be looking above at, I have a resistance one up here at 1032.4. and a Camarilla at 1031.6, and the next line up above at 1031.3. So picking a line up above once the entry has been confirmed and seeing where this market goes. Until then, as you can see, no market strength to the upside, and we're just going to hold off. Alright, so we can see market's having a really tough time breaking above this 1-hour open range. We've got some support here at the weekly S2 at 1028. Again, an entry here at post 2 hours of the open. Nice strong bar, European close. Could have taken an entry above the 25-minute open range. Still kept in with it. You would have taken targets up above. You could remain in the trade because of the EMA crossover. But again, I'm looking for the momentum move here above. Not be able to break this R2 here. Cam H3, the Camarilla pivot H3 is holding strong as well. 1-hour open range, line in the sand. Daily pivot and gap zone, don't want to play in there. Looking for support here at the daily pivot so we can break above and see how far we can take this after a multiple day sell-off. Hey there, Russell Traders. Looks like we're having a little bit of a challenging time, really breaking above. We can see our 5-minute bar is just waffling here between this weekly S2 and 1-hour open range. We're starting to get a little bit of a sign of a Heiken Ashi bar forming above the 1-hour open range. We already have EMA crossover on both of these charts. Having a little bit of a line of resistance here at the Cam H3. I want to break above and hold. I'd like to see at least 50% of that bar above here. Again, like to see above the R2 post 30-minute resistance line, and I can see that my daily gap zone has been holding here at the daily pivot, so that's a sign. Again, I'm seeing a red tick here, which no strength, so momentum will come with a nice strong number above 200. My AD line at 319. Here we can see our 5-minute bar breaking above. Again, I'm looking for Heiken Ashi to keep that up as well above the 1-hour open range. Love to break this line and hold with at least 50% of all these bars to know I have a momentum move, and then I could take an entry on a trade. Be back when we either enter or an update on the Russell trade of the morning. Well, Russell traders, this is a great example of discipline and patience in a market that I don't see the momentum drive here, going numerous attempts to break to the upside. We could start looking to the downside. Again, we got a long way to go down to 1023 just to break the 25-minute open range. Could possibly just sit here all day and not see anything, maybe till the last 3 minutes of the market, but will not take a trade until we break this line. You can see here that 5-minute bar unable to break that 1 hour open range. Coming down below weekly S2, we're back into the pivot in the daily gap zone. Unable to break this pivot line, unable to break the CAM H3, even though I have 2 EMA crossovers here. My tick is in the red. I have market breadth, which is pretty much flat, not able to break upside. AD line has come down a little bit. So short entry, possibly for a scalp back inside the range if we have some serious selling here and AD line comes back into the red. But just going to have to sit and wait and be patient. Well, the Russell traders, as much as you'd like to see a live trade to be in the money, this is also a very educational way of getting a perspective of when to take a trade and when not to take a trade. As we could see, our line of resistance to the upside has held. We're back in the 25-minute open range. Price has come back into the daily gap. We've got a negative tick to the downside, market breadth. Also mixed here, almost flat, and AD line coming down as well. Drawing down to the pivot, the daily gap. We are back inside the Camarilla. Looking for an EMA crossover here to the downside. Solid bar with a tail down is selling signal, so a possible scalp or entry to the downside as well. I'd like to see at least a red on the tick and a red on the AD line to take a short side entry. Again, if we're waiting for momentum all the way down to the 25-minute open range, we got a little bit of ways down to 1023. I'd like to see EMA crossover on both charts here. Again, I'm not going to take any trades here inside with the kind of action we've been having today between the pivot and the daily gap, so absolutely no entry under 1025.3. If I were to come for an entry inside, I want to see EMA crossover, and I want to be under at least the monthly pivot here of 1025.5, under 1025.3. I want to see red on the tick and red on the market internals. Until then, I'm sitting still, patience and discipline. Okay, the Russell traders, as we could see, prices pretty much stay within this daily gap pivot area. We can see the price never really came down all the way to the daily gap. But 25-minute open range is now the line in the sand to the upside. 2 5-minute bars here coming up right to it and bouncing back down. We do have EMA crossover, exponential moving average inside the range. Our tick is in the red, negative 311 here. We're still coming down on the AD line, still in the green, so market internals are mixed. Any trade to the short side I would look at inside the range, underneath the daily gap, underneath the monthly pivot here. I'd want to see some solid bars tail down. I almost have an EMA crossover on my other chart here. This is a 513.2180 exponential moving average. Camarilla lines, let's see, Camarilla lines, we are looking at coming down here to 1022.6, which is just below the 25-minute open range, so it could be a downside target. 1023.3, we have daily S1 down at 1021.5, so a little bit of movement to the downside. Again, I want to see market internals all supporting and drive downwards. Good lesson today, when to sit and not take a trade. All right, possible trade opportunity here. 5-minute bar coming underneath the monthly pivot. We have the daily gap. Again, this is a 15-minute bar. And would like to see that come down underneath. Got a Heikin Ashi bar. Still nice solid bar, tail down. Would like to see another bar come come downside under that. If I were to take an entry, I don't have at least 50% of this bar underneath. Momentum on the tick is strong to the downside. My AD line is red, but I'd like to see at least a negative 200 on that. I'm breaking down underneath the pivot. EMA crossover almost complete over here. 1022.6 right here. I might load up on more contracts being that I'm inside the range. Lunchtime is over. Traders coming back from our East Coast. Again, nice drive down from the 1 hour open range inside, holding support inside here, the daily gap and the daily resistance. Again, I like to see this Heikin Ashi bar. I like to see another one follow through underneath. I went ahead and put a 1025.2, which is the pivot line, 30-minute post pivot line. I'd like to see a close under that. And again, this isn't a momentum move here for me. This is quick contracts on and off. Don't like trading inside the daily 25-minute open range. And do not want to get stuck back in the daily gap and pivot. And we'll come back on if I go ahead and take a trade. Okay, I got some nice selling bar down here in the Heikin Ashi. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 contracts here. All right, so we're 2 contracts in the short. Looking at my first contract downside to take off, could go for the 25-minute open range. 1023.2, 1022.5. Go ahead for 1022 point. Actually, I'm so in the positive today. Just go ahead and take them off at the nearest. And just come on down. Go ahead and put a stop up here at the top of the 25-minute open range. Let me see where I got. Actually, monthly pivot 1025.5. Put a stop in there. In case we decide to run back up a little bit. Again, I'm looking down here. Got some selling in. Okay, AD line has become negative. Would have liked a little bit stronger, but again, I see a momentum move here. So I told you solid bar. Again, I'm not a trader inside the range, don't like it, but again, I'm underneath the pivot here. I got my first line here at 1023.3, front that to maybe 1024.4. Down to the cam, just taking a short scalp inside the range here. Could just take 1 contract off and leave a runner on. I'm going to just go ahead and come on out. And downside, and almost going down to the bottom of the 25-minute open range. We've got negative 163, negative 7.5 on the tick. Selling downside. I'm over open range at 1023.1, so I'm going to front run that. I can see us coming down here, and I'm going to take both contracts off. Total of 6 contracts for the day, and I have 2, and I am out. All right, so price could follow through here down to the downside. Again, I'd be looking for action underneath the 25-minute open range. Go ahead and take the stop off. Question is price going to hold up here, or are we going to continue downside? Again, a short side entry, I'm going to look for Heikin Ashi bars coming underneath the 25-minute open range. I'm going to look for 5-minute bar. I'm underneath the daily gap. We got some selling here to the downside. Nice little trade there. Okay, the Russell traders, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this live trade. As you can see, price came all the way down to the bottom of the 25-minute open range. We got Able to get out of the trade, a total of $460 today on 8 contracts. A couple earlier trades during the day. Price action driving down from the 1 hour open range to weekly S2, coming back inside, daily gap coming all the way down, finding support here. Price action could end up coming underneath the range. We have EMA crossover on both, so that would be another trade as well. CAM L3 holding up. We have the daily post 30-minute S1 pivot line, and that's where we took our contracts off. We are underneath the daily gap. We've turned negative on the tick. Market breadth is red and red, and we've come down in the AD line. So making some major moves here down to a negative 217. So that was able to drive this move down. So not a bad day for a Friday on price action. That was indecisive to the upside. Again, composure of discipline and patience. Took a trade inside the range, which is not a usual trade of mine, but again, I saw some selling off here. Might find some support here at the bottom of the 25-minute open range or not. If we go under, go ahead and take another trade for the day and execute the same discipline that I do in all my other trades. So that concludes the wrap for this live trade. Feel free to stop on by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of know one thing, know it well, rings true for all markets. You might not trade the Russell, but it's the same plan. We'll keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball and to the others figure out what's happening next. I just trade the charts that is in front of me. Have yourself a good day.